died for us, okay? That's why we have 100% truth here at GMS, all right? You guys don't like it, but it is what it is, all right? So I'm going to go from there. Well, I'll keep reading. Verse 12. Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he had poured out his soul unto death, and he was numbered with the transgressors, and he bare the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors. And that's Yahawashi, all right? So, I mean, that's the point, man. That's the point. Now, this is Matthew chapter 27, verse 26. Then released he Barabbas unto them, and when he had scourged Yahawashi, he delivered him to be crucified. So Pontius Pilate, the so-called white man, Pontius Pilate had the Lord scourged, okay? The Scourging of Jesus by David McClister, and this is on truthmagazine.com. The Scourging of Jesus, which we here at GMS, we know his real name is not Jesus. We know his real name is in the ancient Paleo-Hebrew, and it's Yahawashi. Crucifixion was an agonizing, torturous death, but Yahawashi endured a torture that was nearly as, or perhaps equally, excruciating before he ever got to the cross. This was the pain he suffered when he was scourged. Scourging, called verberatio by the Romans, was possibly the worst kind of flogging administered by ancient courts. While the Jews administered whippings in the synagogues for certain offenses, these were mild in comparison to scourging. Scourging was not normally a form of execution, but it certainly was brutal enough to be fatal in many cases. A person certainly could be beaten to death by the scourge if that was desired. Its purpose was not only to cause great pain, but to humiliate as well. To scourge a man was to beat him worse than one would beat a stupid animal. It was belittling, debasing, and demeaning. It was considered such a degrading form of punishment that, according to the portion 248 BC and Sempronian 123 BC laws, Roman citizens were exempt from it. It was, therefore, the punishment appropriate only for slaves and non-Romans, those who were viewed as the lesser elements in Roman society. To make it as humiliating as possible, scourging was carried out in public. The instrument used to deliver this form of punishment was called in Latin a flagellum or a flagrum. This was much different from the bullwhip that is more common in our culture. It was instead more like the old British cat o' nine tails, except that the flagellum was not designed merely to bruise or leave welts on the victim. The flagellum was a whip with several, at least 3 thongs or strands, each perhaps as much as 3 feet long, and the strands were weighted with lead balls or pieces of bone. This instrument was designed to lacerate. The weighted thongs struck the skin so violently that it broke open. All right, and I want to skip down here. The victim of a scourging was bound to a post or frame, stripped of his clothing, and beaten with the flagellum from the shoulders to the loins. The beating left the victim bloody and weak, in unimaginable pain and near the point of death. It is no doubt that weakness from his scourging was largely the reason Yahawashi was unable to carry his cross all the way to Golgotha. Matthew chapter 27, verse 32. He released Barabbas because, our people, the Jews, desire Barabbas, but not Yahawashi. So Barabbas was released from prison, an actual murderer, and Yahawashi was delivered up to be crucified, okay? Then the soldiers of the governor took Yahawashi unto the common hall, and gathered unto him the whole band of soldiers. And they stripped him, and put on him a scarlet robe. And when they had plaited a crown of thorns, they put it upon his head, and a reed in his right hand. And they bowed the knee before him, and mocked him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews! And they spit upon him, and took the reed, and smote him on the head. So they spitting on his face, hitting him on the head. The Lord is being humiliated, man. And these so-called white soldiers, these Edomite soldiers, let me call them who they are, these Edomite soldiers making fun of him. So the Lord did all this, man. He was humiliated, man, before he got crucified. And you know, when he got crucified, that was like the finishing touch, okay? And like Apostle Sakaran went into it, Elder Sakaran went into it, you know, when the Lord was being crucified, he had already been beat damn near to death, but he has those nails in his hands and those nails in his feet. So you think about all that gravity pulling his body down, man. All right, as he's hanging up, you know, feeling like his damn hands is gonna rip from them nails, man. And so is his feet, and he just hanging up, man. All right. And it says, verse 31, and after that, they had mocked him. They took the robe off from him and put his own raiment on him and led him away to crucify him. And as they came out, they found a man of Cyrene, Simon by name. Him they compelled to bear his cross. And why did he need another man to bear his cross? Because he was damn near beat to death, man. He was damn near beat to death, so he couldn't carry his own cross, man. He had to, he could carry it a little bit, but he couldn't fully carry it by himself. Isaiah chapter 50, verse 6. I gave my back to the smiters, and my cheeks to them that plucked off the hair. I hid not my face from shame and spitting. Now this is Isaiah speaking, the prophet Isaiah speaking. But he's talking about Yahawashi. All right? He gave his back to the smiters. That's the Lord getting beat by them Romans, man. Okay? They plucked out his hair. They did all type of shit to him, man. Spit on him. We read that. They spit in his face. Okay? They hit him on the head, smote him on the head. All right? So when the Lord comes back, man, he gonna fuck shit up, man. All right? And he gonna save the people that he died for, which in this go round is not all Israel. He's gonna save the elect of Israel. 2/3 gonna come back in the kingdom, man. That's when they'll be covered by the blood of Yahawashi. You know, which makes sense. The Lord receiving such a beating like that, and then being crucified, that wasn't for nothing. All right, that was for a chosen people, man. You know, not all Israel is deserving of that right now, of the blood of Yahawashi. Okay? This is Isaiah chapter 52, going back to verse 14. As many as were astonished at thee, his visage was so marred more than any man, and his form more than the sons of men. So we know that that's talking about Yahawashi. He was beat worse than any man on earth, man. Okay? He was beat worse than Jake during slavery, man. So shall he sprinkle many nations. The kings shall shut their mouths at him. For that which had not been told them shall they see, and that which they had not heard shall they consider. Which is the truth. So when the Lord comes back, he's going to take down his present kingdom, man. And they're going to see who the Lord is, man. And he's a so-called black man, man. That which they had not heard shall they see. They're going to see it for themselves, man. And they're going to know through the spirit of Yahawashi, we've been telling the truth. Start with the apostles of GMS, man. Okay? In New York. So that's the point, man. You know, our Lord suffered the worst death on earth for the nation of Israel, man. Okay? So with that, I want to say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahawashi, double honors to the apostles of GMS, the elders of GMS, and honors and blessings to the elect.